As you expand into your awakening more and more, please know that for many of you, it will not look only one way. We hear so many of you crying out for your purpose. What is my purpose? What is my mission? Your soul is divine love. Your mission is the expansion and expression of your true soul self. And so we will offer you some steps, some actions, some things to consider here. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to Spirit Speakeasy. I'm Joy Giovanni, Joyful Medium. I'm a working psychic medium, energy healer, and spiritual gifts mentor. This podcast is like a seat at the table in a secret club, but with mediums, mystics, and the spiritual luminaries of our time. So come behind the velvet ropes with me and see inside my world as I chat insider style with profoundly gifted souls. We go deep, share juicy stories, laugh a lot, and it wouldn't be a speakeasy without great insider secrets and tips. You might even learn you have some spiritual gifts of your own. So step inside Spirit Speakeasy. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome in for another episode of Spirit Speakeasy. I have something really special for you today. I have been feeling the pull to do another channeled episode with messages from the Violet Flame. And today's episode, the message that they share through this channeling session is all about your awakening, how it's happening, how to step more into it, what to look for, what to do, finding your purpose and what that truly means. And I'm so excited to share this with you. And again, I will say this at the end as well, but I would love to know what you would love to hear more about on this podcast. Are there topics you're wanting to hear more about? Are there areas you're wanting to learn more about? Are there guests that you are hoping that I can have? And if you know someone amazing that you think would resonate with the audience here and with all of you, please suggest them. Some of you have suggested wonderful guests to me that we can then share together. You are the one that makes this a community. You are so important here and to me, and I'm grateful to get to share this time and this energy with you. Without further ado, here is your message from the Violet Flame. We are excited to be here with you today, to be invited to share in this most current energy of your timeline. So many of you have been pondering, wondering, asking about awakening. Are you experiencing your awakening now? And we say to you, yes, there is much awakening happening on your planet. And of course, for many generations, awakening has been happening. However, in this portion of your timeline, it may feel intense. It may feel as though time is moving very quickly. It may feel as though you are being tossed in the waves of energy. And we invite you to deeper awakening. One of the things we would like to discuss around your awakening is that awakening does not only look one way. We have explained to this medium in the past that these energies, these abilities, these gifts, as you may call them, move through you less like a light switch and more like an opening, gentle, bit by bit, often in the energy of a spiral, outward, expanding. Awakening looks many ways for many different human beings. Awakening, of course, can be curiosity in your spiritual gifts, seeking to develop and to expand your spiritual gifts. However, awakening can look like sharing love in the community. Awakening can look like artistry of many kinds. Awakening can look like becoming more and more aware of the current contrast in your human experience, more aware of what you may perceive as injustice, more aware of the suffering of others. After all, awakening is truly the expression and expansion of your soul in your human form. Part of awakening as well is learning the balance of taking care of this physical vehicle that has been gifted to you for your soul to use in this human experience in this lifetime. And while your soul is divine, everlasting, eternal, these physical bodies, as you know, are here for a limited time only. They are needing to be nourished, nurtured, cared for, not ignored. And they also are a vessel, not just for your soul, but for communication within and without. You are able to share your awakening, your opening, your love, your gifts, your interests through this physical vessel. However, this physical vessel also has an internal communication for you. So when you feel heavy, when you feel like the world is too much, certainly this can be partially all of these energetic components, but we also invite you to look at the physicality of you. Are there nutrients that this physical life form is requiring? Because you are human on this human plane and bound by some of the human laws of physics in your physical body. We invite you to be sure that you are getting rest, address the emotional concerns, challenges, unpleasant emotions rising up are a gift. So many of you resist these and feel, well, if I am truly in my awakening and on my spiritual journey, I should not be feeling these challenging, heavy emotions. And we invite you to look from another perspective. These emotions, these feelings, these desires, these are communications between your soul and your physical body to help you in this human form. We invite you to try whatever calls to you as far as wellness and self-care. This could be meditation. This could be physical exercise. This could be time in the sunshine, observing nature. This could be many of the tools and gifts and healing modalities that are available to you on this earth plane. As you expand into your awakening more and more, please know that for many of you, it will not look only one way. We hear so many of you crying out for your purpose. What is my purpose? What is my mission? Your soul is divine love. Your mission is the expansion and expression of your true soul self. We know for some of you that answer is frustrating. We understand and feel your frustration here. We know that you would like a physical map or blueprint telling you step by step how to do that and how it looks and how to get everything you want in this human experience. And we say to you, much of what you want is currently available to you. However, there is no blueprint because you are a unique soul in a unique form in this unique period in time. You are not necessarily meant to march the path that those before you have tread. You can take wisdom, you can take understanding. Certainly, there is learning for you to have. However, for those sensitives who are called to this message, the expression of your soul self, the awakening that you are feeling within, that pull, that call might feel uncomfortable because you are being challenged, you are being invited, you are chosen here, you have chosen to come here. And part of that choosing is experiencing new ways to express the deepening of divine love. And we invite you to look at where you feel unworthy. Many of you just feel like awakening should be the public embracing you, spreading your message far and wide and being received with love. And while that is one aspect of the potential and possibility, we also invite you to be realistic here and acknowledge that your world, this human experience, is one of contrast, is one of duality. For example, there are those of you who have felt the call to express your love more publicly through social media platforms, for example. And you have put a beautiful message forward for the collective. And some people receive that message. And some people receive the love. And others, in contrast, in duality, rise up with ugly emotions, with harsh words, with cruelty. This is part of that duality and part of your journey, part of your expansion and awakening is to be able to hold your energy in love, in expansion, regardless of what other human beings are offering in that moment. Your message comes from within, comes from your soul self. And for some of you, of course, this is expression of spiritual gifts. However, spiritual gifts can be expressed in many roles, in many ways. We know that most of you are looking for a more concrete answer than this, and so we will offer you some steps, some actions, some things to consider here. For those of you feeling interested in developing spiritual gifts, in exploring those subtle energies, whether through healing or artistry or mediumship or psychic work or channeling or light codes, any of the plethora of options available to you, we invite you to tune into that energy of your soul within you. It exists with you, in you, as you at all times. That divine spark, that expression of divine, everlasting, eternal love through you. Your human self will feel curious, will feel interested, and that is what to follow. Follow that curiosity, gain experience, knowledge, practice, play. And we also want to acknowledge that for most of you, this will not feel easy. And some of you push back and say, if these are gifts that are natural, if this awakening belongs to me, why does it not feel easy? Friends, this is not the journey you have come here for. You have come here for this human experience. And for many of you, part of this human experience is unmasking, is not fully conforming to what has been expected, what is the status quo, but shining that soul light from within. This will feel uncomfortable for many of you. This will feel vulnerable and exposing. And there is no rush, and there is work to do. Part of this human experience is doing work to allow this expansion. You cannot just jump and leap before you are ready. You can try, but it will not feel as delicious, as exciting, as fulfilling, as if you actually did the work bit by bit, the practice, the play, the looking at your challenging emotions. Where are you in resistance? Where are you in judgment? And we are not saying that you cannot be honest about what is happening in your world. It is a challenging time. But through this contrast, many of you are awakening. Many of you are saying, this is not loving. This is not equitable. This is not fair for the collective. And that is the direction that you are headed, beloved. You are headed towards community, collective expansion. And we say to you, no full expansion can happen until everyone is allowed to expand. In your current world experience, there is much oppression. There are many forms of violence. There is much duality to be experienced. So how do you manage? You tune into the energy of your own soul. You follow what interests you, what you're curious about. You keep working on it while having your human experience. Trial and error, bit by bit. These clunky human forms were chosen by you. We know that sometimes you feel confused and alone, and we assure you, you are not. We assure you there is a host of guides and ascended souls and supportive souls, some that have walked on this plane, others that have not, that are cheering for you, that are excited for you. This is an advanced plane of experience. You did not come here because you did not want trial. You did not come here because you did not want effort. You wanted to experience and to expand in this form. It is one of the most challenging forms to seek this expansion, but it is available to you. We invite you to start where you are. We know many of you have heard those words before, and again, they are frustrating. What does this mean? If your mission is the expansion of your soul, the expression of love through your human form, your true soul self, then we invite you to share it with those other souls around you. This can mean hosting opportunities for collective meditation, for example, but this can also mean serving those communities closest to you, helping those other souls that are in challenge. For some of you, this work feels incredibly heavy, and we say to you, we are not saying this has to be the only part of your experience. It could be, for example, 1 hour a month that you go and serve others, that you express love in unexpected ways. This can be those micro actions that you take throughout your day-to-day life, a smile here, a word of encouragement there, a soft energy coming from you into the world, a different way to greet challenges. We invite you to continue to explore, to continue to expand. And we want you to be aware that many of you will have challenging experiences that will aid you in awakening yourself, in moving towards these gifts. There is no requirement of you to explore a specific gift that is available to you. It's just an option for you. And in human nature, many of you feel incredibly all or nothing. I must be expressing my gifts in my professional work all the time, receiving much attention, or it is not satisfactory. And this is where we invite you to look at these emotions and beliefs you may be carrying around your worthiness. Do you need other human souls in the world to acknowledge you, to validate you, in order to feel that you are worthy of sharing these gifts, of sharing the love that you have come here to express? We say you do not. While that might feel wonderful, and while for many of you that will be a beautiful part of your experience, it is not required. You are worthy just as you are, because you have come into this human form willingly, excitedly, up for the challenges that will greet you. Most of you who are listening to this message are aware that this human experience in this form, in this timeline, is temporary. Yet you have so much fear. Fear of being seen. Fear of looking within at the challenging emotions. Fear of the past. Fear of the future. Fear of your own gifts in actuality, that you might not be good enough or strong enough or something enough. And we are here to say that is the work for you to do. That is the fog for you to move through, so that you can then shine your light as you move through that fog and as you come to the other side. And we want to set your expectations appropriately. As long as you are in human form, there is human work to do. There are emotions to evaluate, explore, both beautiful emotions and challenging emotions. All of these are invitations to get you more immersed in the expression of this divine love that you have come here to shine. It does not matter to your soul if you express these gifts through a specific religious system, if you express these gifts as an atheist, if you express these gifts just as a human being who has not figured out all of the spiritual systems. The underpinning of truth is love. the love we hold for ourselves, as well as the love we hold for others. Now, we want to be clear here because some of you need to hear this piece. This does not mean that you should allow others to be abusive or violent towards you. That is not loving of yourself. That is where boundaries can be exercised. That is where your free will choice becomes incredibly important in a different way than it is always. But it is part of what some of you will explore and experience. And this contrast invites you, beckons you, cries out to you to choose something different, to choose what is most loving for you, so that you can be filled with love from yourself. Because you have made those choices, you have set those boundaries, so that you can show others by your example how to be in self-love. And by loving yourself truly and fully, not when you get that thing, when you are this version of yourself, when you receive something specific in the world, but right now, as you are, where you are. This is part of your mission, to hold that love within yourself, for yourself, truly, so that others may see, so that others may have an energetic, resonant example to do the same. We invite you to explore this in your energy. Energetically, how are you showing up to hold that power of love? While love can be soft and calm, it can also be incredibly powerful and incredibly palpable energy. Sometimes love looks like resistance of powers that be. Sometimes love looks like saying, no, I will stand up for this person or this group of people. Sometimes love looks like doing work in quiet to assist. And for some of you, there are periods of time where you will gently remove yourself from the public and share that love by healing yourself, by helping others in quiet, by holding that energy in your own home, in your own life, in your own community. The next step for many of you is to create community. 2 or more count as community. How are you holding this energy of love in community? This will expand the awakening of all. This can be done in groups that are trustworthy. And then as that safety and security and trust is built within yourself, you can invite others. Because that is the direction that humanity is moving. Community for all. Safety for all. And this awakening is coming as many of you becoming aware that that is not the current human experience for many. Feeling uncomfortable is part of this awakening. Feeling the suffering of others is part of what makes you a sensitive soul. Now, we want to encourage you that this is not the only place to focus. But if that is something that is very loud for you, perhaps that's an indication that that is a place to focus. How can you alleviate suffering of even one soul for 1 minute of one day? We know that many of you want to create big change for the world, and we say you create big change for the world when you create big change for yourself and for those around you. And how you do this is through your example, through your permission to explore all that is, through nature, for some of you through science, for some of you through medicine, for some of you through writing, for some of you through searching and studying and traveling and sharing experiences with others. There is no one way to have awakening, and there is no one moment of awakening. This awakening is continual. And while, yes, many more and more and more of you are agreeing to awaken, or the world has become so loud that you can no longer resist some version of awakening, many of you who are listening now have already been awakened some time ago. Many of you as children in this generation. So just know that your journey is to continue saying yes to that awakening, to continue exploring what draws your curiosity. There is a resonant energy that each of you knows within yourself. It is why some of you will turn on a streaming platform and feel totally resonating with the message of one teacher and totally dysregulated by the message of another. You know when something is a resonant frequency for you in the moment that you're in. And again, this can change over time. Perhaps you resonated with one teacher several years ago, and now through your expansion, you are ready for more. You are ready for a different message, a deeper message, a new step in your own unfolding. This is all part of awakening. We say to you, if you have made it this far in this message, you are awake. And the journey now is to continue to expand. Expand that love for yourself. And again, sometimes, oftentimes, this means exploring those places where you feel that love is not shining. Those harsh words you have for yourself, the judgment you have of others. Now, this does not mean accepting behavior that is harmful to others. However, we can acknowledge, we can take action. And some of you are called to action right now. Do not diminish the power of the actions you are already taking. Do not diminish the power of just sitting in the energy of your soul. Your intuition is part of your spiritual gifts and something that has been awakened in each of you from the time you were born into this physical experience. It is this physical world and becoming more and more physically focused that makes you feel separate from this intuition. You are not. That is an illusion. Part of you continuing to awaken is continuing to shed that illusion of separation. You are not separate from your soul or your higher self or your soul self. You are not separate from source energy. And in fact, you are not separate from one another. There is a divine energetic web that connects all things on your planet, seen and unseen. But so many of you are searching for worthiness to fill this illusion, to, as a salve, soothe this painful sense of separation. We invite you to explore that deeper. Again, any challenging emotion is there for you to explore so that you may pass through to find deeper awakening, deeper wisdom, deeper acknowledgement that there is much more happening than this human experience. And you are all on a timeline that is moving very quickly now. There are many free will choices being made on many levels at all times. Some of them you are actively participating in, and some of them are part of the collective agreement. And all contrast can be used to your benefit for the awakening of others around you, for the continued expansion of that love that wants to move through you, because that is the truth of who you are. That is the most true of the truths, love. And perhaps for some of you, it's just exploring what love means in your life. Divine love, unconditional love for yourself, and how that exists and moves in your world in real and tangible ways. For some of you, we know it is incredibly comfortable to be in community, to be public with your gifts, with your expression, with the beauty of who you are. And for others, we know that it is not comfortable, that you would like to avoid being public, being expansive in that way. And we want you to know there is different expression for everyone, and there is no specific expression required of you. It is for you to choose and unfold and play with and grow into and out of and change along your path. Again, if you are listening, you are already awake, and we ask you, what is the next step on your path that you are curious to explore? We felt that resistance rise up for many of you. And you say, truly, I want to know what comes next. Next has not been decided yet. Only the step you are taking now. Only what you are choosing now. So the full plan cannot be revealed to you because it does not exist in the way that your human mind imagines. As you step forward, as you find other souls that share in this resonant love frequency, and we do invite you to find other souls, to find community, whether it is one lecture that you sit in, one group meditation that you take on, one workshop that you attend, one podcast that you listen to, that will lead to another, more choosing, more available to you. It is for you to choose. It is for you to give your free will agreement. It is not imposed upon you. You are not a puppet being guided through a pre-existing path. You get to decide. It is your desire. It is your willingness to work and learn and expand. And again, for many of you as sensitive souls, there is an ebb and flow. Just like the tide, there are times when you will be in more active expansion, learning, developing, growing, and then there are times to go within. We invite you to observe nature. There are seasons. There are seasons in the natural world around you, just as there are seasons in your human life. There are times where you will be voracious, learning, consuming everything you can about a subject. And then there are times to go within and be in quiet and do your study and embody what you have learned. And part of this is pushing against the edges of this contrast and discomfort, digging at those challenging emotions, looking at your own personal beliefs, looking at the beliefs and systems of the world around you so you can expand your knowledge, expand your expression. And you might not be feeling called to the same expression throughout your entire life, and that is okay. Part of the human condition is this feeling of confusion or insecurity around wanting to know what is next. I say to you, that is not guaranteed. The next steps are not likely shown to you on many occasions because you get to choose. Will you continue forward? And when? And why? Is it the seeking of approval of others? Or is it because your soul can no longer be contained in the current expansion and needs to expand, needs to stretch even more? Growth in human form is often uncomfortable. You very rarely grow in the very comfortable ground, soft and nurturing where you are, although you need those experiences as well. Real growth comes when you expand outside of what is familiar, outside of the path that has already been laid out before you, outside of the way someone else did it before, or the way it looks for your friend, or the way you imagine that it is for a public figure. You're creating a lot of information that you do not know to be true. You are here in physical form as a divine creator soul. You chose to come here. All of the gifts of your soul are available to you. Some of them get to be excavated, polished, like beautiful diamonds and gemstones, that is part of your journey. That is part of the excitement of this human experience. And it is a delicious experience. And you are quite advanced to come here. Not every soul chooses to come to this earth plane because the learning is challenging for most. And you might feel that someone else has had an easier path, less discomfort in their learning, but we assure you, everyone experiences discomfort in some area of their life. Perhaps you see someone flourishing in their career and you think, why is that path not easy for me? But truly, you do not know the internal struggle of their own human nature. You do not know their full past, their relationships, and the things that challenge them within. So we invite you to stop looking outside. Stop comparing yourself to others. Now, there is value in looking at what someone else is expanding into and feeling the excitement for them, feeling the resonant energy, feeling that matching energy within yourself and saying, I would like to experience more of that. That is healthy. That is wonderful. That is divine. And then what are the steps you get to take to feel more alive in that energy, to feel more expanded in that energy? And where is there fear? Where are you afraid to step fully into that energetic vibrational frequency that is beckoning you forward? You might not have concrete words or a job title for what it is that is calling you forward, but you likely have a vibrational or emotional frequency that you can recognize of what you would like to feel more of. Whatever that is for you, also be exploring the fear around it and why you are holding yourself back from it. Many of you have been wondering about when everyone will awaken, and we say to you, source energy is not attached to the timeline of everyone awakening. Focus on yourself. Focus on your expansion, expanding the pure love of your soul into the world. Taking time to appreciate this human experience, to smell the wonderful smells, feel the beautiful textures, explore the different emotions, look into the eyes of another human being, be present in this world, but know that there is so much more happening in any given moment. And there are so many souls cheering you on from the non-physical side, supporting you, encouraging you, especially in those moments when you feel incredibly alone. Going within is the answer. Asking yourself, what is it in the emotion, in the feeling that you want to feel and experience more of? And again, many of you know what that is and think, well, I just want to jump into the deepest end of the pool of that. And we say that is not how it works in your human experience. You need to wade in, move more into that experience, try different facets, see what gives you more of that feeling as you grow and do the work within your humanness. That is the direction. That is how you continue to expand more and more into your awakening. And for some of you, for most of you, there is a requirement to move your physical body in some capacity to help move that energy along. There is an encouragement to be creative in whatever way you can, whether that is creativity in your cooking or in the way you style your home or yourself, creativity in perhaps taking a different route to get to the same place, creativity in the way you communicate, or even learning new words in your language of communication. All of this adds to the overall energy. All of this supports you expanding even more. It is not only one vein of expansion, it is many. Do not resist this human experience. It is part of how you expand. And the gifts will be presented to you as invitations to explore, not as a light switch, as an invitation to learn more about one subject or take a class or listen to a lecture or do a little research, feel into the energy of, wade into the water, and then decide, do I want to continue to wade deeper? Do I want to continue to play and practice and polish this gemstone? That is truly how you continue to expand. And the real mission here is to continue to express more of that divine love that you truly are through your human form in your tangible day-to-day life. We are so grateful for this time together. We are so happy for your continual awakening. We support your growth, your expansion, and the expression of the love that you truly are. And we say, well done, and keep going. Thank you for being here with me today. I am so honored to get to occasionally channel for you. This is one of my favorite gifts that I've developed over many years. I'm so grateful for all of you who are a part of this community. And I really want to know what you want more of on this podcast. So I would love it if you would share it in the comments or reach out to me. Admin@Joyful Medium is a great email for that. And just let me know, what is it that you are more curious about? What is it that you're wanting to learn more about? I'm going to go back through and listen to this channeling. As many of you know, when I'm in the channeling, I am not hearing the information and not receiving the information on a cognitive level, although my soul definitely receives that information. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to continue forward with you in the rest of this year and beyond. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye for now from inside Spirit Speakeasy.